Hey everybody, this is my 55-gallon Gourami tank, and everybody in there is getting all excited because they think they're about to get fed, but in fact they are about to get a water change. So a lot of times my before and after water change videos don't look very much different from the before to the after. I think this one's going to look significantly different, mainly because of that front glass there. The tank itself is not too bad. I will probably be treating it here in the fairly near future with a basic ChemiClean treatment. I do that from time to time in this tank. But right now it's getting a little late in the evening, and all I really want to do is a quick water change. I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and I keep trying to wait until I've got time to do the filter and, do the full water change. And I just don't want to put it off another night. I can always do the filter another time, but I at least want to swap some of that water out of there. And while I'm in there, I'm going to go ahead and get that front glass wiped down. So this should be a pretty dramatic before and after. So without further ado, there is your before. And there's your after. So I did decide while I was working on it to go ahead and treat it with the ChemiClean. The reason I did that was because the tank to the left, my former T-bar tank, I guess I'm going to have to think of a new name for that tank now, that had the air stone in it because I was treating it for the sick T-bar that is no longer with us. So since the air stone was already up and running, I went ahead and just pulled it out. I stuck it in this tank. I went ahead and did a water change on the T-bar tank as well, since it had been medicated. And then that way that did a nice little water change and cleared up the medication. And in the meantime, since I had the air stone right there, as I said, I went ahead and just stuck it in this tank and then put the ChemiClean treatment in there. No, I'm not worried about any kind of cross-contamination. I don't really think there was anything in the other tank to worry about being cross-contaminated. So we're not going to worry about that. I'm not treating this tank for anything other than the grunge you see growing on everything. For example, all this stuff you see growing on these leaves, not only that bright green cyanobacteria, but that reddish brown, rusty color, that red purpley looking stuff. The stuff on the back glass, all that reddish stuff you see on the rocks and the woodwork, all that's going to get killed off. And then just the general crud that grows in the tank over time. You see the crud that grows on the rocks. You'll be surprised at how much cleaner that all looks after this ChemiClean treatment. So I usually give it the 2-day treatment is what you're supposed to do, and then give it a water change. But I usually do a second treatment after the first one, because why not? The stuff's inexpensive enough, and if I've already got the air stone in there up and running, there's no reason not to do that. So, if it still looks like it needs a little bit of more cleaning, I'll go ahead and do a second treatment on it, but we'll have to wait and see what it looks like after 2 days of doing it. So there you go. Quick, simple water change. I did maybe, I don't know, 30-40%. It was a pretty significant water change. And while it was draining, of course, I wiped the front glass down. That didn't take very much time at all. In fact, you can see I didn't do the greatest of jobs. I missed a spot right there, and I'm sure I missed some spots along the way. But we're going to have to get in here in a few days to do another water change to get the ChemiClean out. After the treatment's done, you always go back in and do another water change. So when I do that, I will get in there and get the filter cleaned out, and we'll wipe the glass down properly, and we'll do a little more thorough cleaning of the tank. And I almost forgot, I also got in there and trimmed the whole top section of this temple plant right here. I trimmed it all the way down to about there because the main stem was all the way up and growing emergent. I had quite a few leaves that were already up and out of the water, and whenever it goes up and out of the water, it starts changing the way it grows. And of course it's growing up into the hot glass, and that burns the leaves up, and you really start running into issues with it when it starts growing up and out of the water when it's in a covered tank like this. So I went ahead and cut that off, and I threw it in my grow out bucket. So as usual, that is for sale. I do sell my any plants that I cut out of a tank or grow out of my grow out tank. So I'll put a link down below to my email if you want to contact me about aquatic plants. Other than that, I'm going to say thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss anything I got coming up. You want to see how this tank turns out in a few days. So if you're subscribed, you won't miss that or anything else. So don't forget, this one here is my 55-gallon Gourami tank. I'll see you real soon in the next one. Thanks a lot.